Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.
We have a woman who is basically going to explain that she was with a Malcolm. She was with a Malcolm, guys. And if you don't know what a Malcolm is, you have to watch my videos. You have to watch my channel. A Malcolm is a mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. So Malcolms are pretty much a step down from high value men. We consider them over here. We consider my Malcolms. Yeah, we consider those guys high value men, but they're not guys who are making, crazy six figures. They might be touching six figures, might be like 90, 80,000, maybe getting up to 110, 120,000. But these guys are not making, 300,000, 400,000. But these guys are still, they're a step below high value men, but they are still high value men in our regard, because these are the guys who they're making decent money. They're looking to start a family. The guys who are still in the blue vitamin mindset. These are what we classify as Malcolms. And there are 3 tiers to the Malcolms. There is a massively attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. That's a top tier Malcolm. Okay. And then there is a mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. That is a second tier Malcolm. Okay. A step down from the top tier Malcolm, who is massively attractive. And then you have the third tier Malcolm, who is a medium, ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. So this man here, he is pretty much not physically impressive. He's not like some super Wizard Kelly height type guy, and he doesn't have like a beautiful face or anything like that. But he's medium ugly. Okay, he's like what women consider Damson Idris in the face to be, what women consider Jonathan Majors in the face to be. You see, when Jonathan Majors got caught up with the cases, then they ain't saying that he's the sexiest man alive anymore. Jonathan Majors is a medium, ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man, and he has been able to elevate himself to a top tier Malcolm, which is a massively attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. But in the face, he is not that attractive. And the women know that, but because he has gained the status, he was able to, get up to that top tier Malcolm status and become a high value man. So we're going to listen to this woman, and she's going to break down why she left a good man. So let's get it.
So earlier this year, I ended a relationship and cut off an engagement from a great man. He was a good man. He loved God. He was a praying man. He loved and adored me. He was there for me.
Okay, so I have to stop her right there. Although women say, oh, they like guys who love God, bruh. I'm telling you right now, women do not care for guys who love God. Maybe they don't want the guy to be a Satanist like Lil Uzi Vert or something, but they don't like guys who love God, because the guys that they end up getting with are the toxic F-boys. You think these guys love God? No. I mean, they're just playing a game. So when women say, oh, they want religious guys, why don't you date the deacon in the church? Why don't you date the guy who's on piano? Why don't you date the guy who is the drummer boy, or the guy who's in the choir? They don't date these guys because they don't find them attractive. Therefore, their religious beliefs are not strong enough to get that woman, to stay attractive, because women are not naturally religious. Yeah, they got like these fairy tales in their head of, them being special and whatnot. But women are brought to God through man. All right. And even though they say that they might be religious and they love God, you have OF. I just saw an article of an OF woman saying that she was, exalted by God to do adult film. It was absolutely crazy. So women say they love God, but they don't read their Bibles. They don't. Not, I'm not saying all women, but most of these women who say they want a godly man, they don't read their Bibles. They can't quote a Bible verse. The only one they can quote is Jeremiah 29:11, and they don't really even understand what it means to love God because they aren't walking within the faith. So let's keep going.
He was handsome. He was well educated. He didn't have any kids. He checked all the boxes, but there was still something missing. And I just knew that I could not go through with this marriage. There was just something that did not connect. I felt that there should have been a connection between he and I in order for me to be his wife.
And the reason why there was no connection is because he was a God-fearing man. Women don't like guys who play within the rules. Women don't like guys who, quote unquote, play it safe. And godly men do, quote unquote, play it safe as far as their lifestyle goes. They don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't, go out and party. They're focused on work, they're focused on their family, they're focused on being a good man. And women don't like that. They don't like that consistency. They don't like that stability. They want things, especially these modern women. Now, back in the day, women in the 60s, yeah, they might be down for that. But modern women, they want things to shake up. They want to, especially black women, respectfully, they want a guy who is, beefing on social media with the ops. They want a guy who is thug maxed. Okay. They want a thug maxed alpha simp. Remember these terms, thug maxed alpha simp. That's what modern black women want. And if you're a black man, you're dating a black woman and you are like a man of God, bro, unless she's, respectfully, the only like women who I see truly going for these men of God are overweight. Like the hottest black women are not going for men of God. I'm going to tell you that right now. And then we'll watch, they're going to get in my comment section and say, da, 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 da. But the reality is if they're super hot, and they're in shape, dude, they are not going for men of God. The hottest black women in the community are going for thug maxed alpha simps. Remember and repeat this term to yourself so you can identify it when you see it. I mean, everywhere I go, and I'm in Atlanta, when I see a hot, thick, like she got nice cakes, nice breasts, and she's like really attractive in the face, most of them are with thug max alpha simps, bro. That's really what it is. Guys with tattoos, wearing a Pooh Shiesty mask, super skinny dudes who can't fight, but they'll bust their gun.
And so I cut off the engagement. And it was so difficult because he was a good man. It's easy when a person is not good. You can justify why you cut things off. But when a person is truly a good person, it's hard to explain.
Yeah. And them banyangs tell me everything I need to know. She thinks she a Black China or something. She thinks she Black China. Them banyangs are looking a hot mess, honey. It's ridiculous. And she really thinks that, oh my God. And she thinks she's gonna go out here and go get a spark. I guarantee right now she's getting her back blown out by a thug max alpha simp.
So I found myself trying to explain it to family and friends, and they were asking me a whole bunch of questions that, I could not say, exactly why, other than the fact that I just did not feel the connection. There was something that was not there that I needed to be there in order for this to be my husband.
See, and this is why you have to, as a brother, you have to be a legal firearm owner, because here's the thing. You can give off the allure that you are a thug max alpha simp without actually being a thug max alpha simp within the confines of the law. And it's just like these women, they just want a guy with an edge, okay? And like I said, a lot of brothers cannot truly be themselves around these sisters because, you do something that they consider being a white thing, then they will lose attraction for you like that. So like if you do something that they consider to be something that only white people do, it's really true. And you can deny it all you want. But I mean, I've dated plenty of black women, and there's a difference between the race dating, but inside and outside your race, it really is. And there are some expectations that are held that as a man, unless you want to go outside of yourself and be something that you're not, you just don't want to deal with. All right. And that's the problem. I truly believe you know, and I love black women, all this stuff, but I truly, and that's why I'm trying to give advice, but you know, they're just gonna say, oh, I'm hating, but I truly believe that they don't give black men a space to be themselves. Like, you can't be a nerdy guy and be with a hot, like, I'm talking about hot. I'm not talking about y'all fat hoes, bro. Stop getting in my comments if you are butt ugly, bro. If your body is not on point, don't say anything in the comments, because I'm not talking about you. We don't care about you, okay? I mean, we care about your well-being and all that stuff and wish you the best and God bless you. Yes, that is as far as the care goes. We don't care to be with you. So if you're ugly, if you're not cute, if you're not in shape, at least this woman is in shape, okay? I mean, she's not that cute, but at least she's in shape. And the bangs is looking crazy. But if you are not that cute, bro, cut it out. We don't want to hear from it. We don't care. We're talking about the hot sisters in the community. These women have an expectation of black men that if that's not your personality, unless you're trying to fake it to make it, you're not going to live up to that expectation. And what is that expectation? Being a thug max alpha simp. Somebody say something to her and you're ready to blow this guy's head off. That's what she's expecting from you.
And so I stopped trying to explain it, and I just trusted my decision, and I went on. But then I got an epiphany, and it was just like, have you ever been shoe shopping and you saw a nice pair of shoes and it's like, ooh, I love the color. I love the style. The heel is the right size and it's a reasonable price. Like, it's on sale and it's a good shoe. But then when you approach the shoe, you see that it's a size 6 and you need a size 7.
So are men's shoes now? Aren't these the same analogies that women hate that men use? Like, if we say, oh, well, if you have a car and it gets used up, you don't want to buy a car with 300,000 miles on it, whatever. And by the way, I'm selling a car with 300,000 miles on it. So hit me up if you need a loyal operational car. Okay. I got a Malcolm of a car, so hit me up. But this woman, you know, you're comparing men to shoes, which I don't have a problem with it. I honestly don't. I love analogies, and I like thinking. What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne, coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Reclaim your throne. So guys, we are about to break down this Danica Patrick and Rich Cooper. It's pretty much a interview that she did with him. And obviously, you know, if you guys don't know who Danica Patrick is, she is a famous, I believe she drove for NASCAR or something like that. You know, I don't know if she actually won anything, but let's see. I mean, I know she was like known to be like the hot NASCAR driver. She won 10 regional karting titles and the World Karting Association Grand National Championship in the Yamaha Sportsman and later HPV class 3 times in 94, 96, and 97. Patrick was accepted into the Indianapolis-based Lynn St. James Foundation Driver Development Program in 96. So not quite NASCAR. I guess she, you know, was riding little go-karts or something like that. Shit. Let me see. Let's see. Let me get a little background on her, because I don't know like what she actually drove. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm watching a video of her crash right now. She had a GoDaddy sponsorship. Let me see if I can find that commercial. But I mean, she was, you know, she was pretty cute back in the day. I wouldn't say she's sexy. You know what I'm saying? She's, I mean, what we giving Danica Patrick as a rating? I give her good facial symmetry. I give her a 6. I mean, she's not bad. Like, she's not a bad bitch. I mean, she's cute. She's cute. But you know, let's see. Let me see. Okay, let me see if I can find that commercial. Because I honestly, like, I think that commercial was probably like her best light, where like she really was looking kind of sexy type shit. I don't know. I don't remember though, because I remember there was some like there was like another GoDaddy girl who was like hotter, I think, who had like bigger tits or something like that. I'm trying to remember, but but here's apparently a band commercial that she was part of, Super Bowl 2010.
Meet Lola. The day he retired from football, Lola started chasing his biggest dream, a business of his own. Lola's first step, he built his website with GoDaddy.com.
So I guess and this is 2010. They're obviously depicting this black man as a homosexual. I mean, it's and then like he's rating lingerie and all this stuff on women. This is 2010. And then also, I mean, hate to be the conspiracy theorist, but the logo for this company that this, I don't know, what is this, the YouTube channel? Oh yeah, that's the YouTube channel. Okay. I was finna go in on some conspiracy shit, on some triangle shit.
And with GoDaddy's easy to use e-commerce tools, Lola was soon selling his own line to the world.
Oh, wait.
Lola dreams big.
Uh-huh.
And who's to argue?
See more now at GoDaddy.com.
Thanks for watching the Auto Channel.
Okay, so that was that. So that's just a little background on Danica Patrick. I think she was probably more known for like doing GoDaddy commercials and just being a girl who drove the fast cars. I guess this is, she did the Daytona 500, but she didn't win. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think she won. In which she had a 1 pole and 6 top 10s. Okay, so she had some top 10s. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from her, but you know, had a really good NASCAR career and a racing career, however you want to call it. And now she is interviewing Rich Cooper to kind of learn more about the red pill. Honestly, that's really what it is, or what we like to call it over here, the red vitamin. We're going to skip the intro and we are going to get into more of the Evo Psych and female dating questions. So this is going to be fun. And obviously, okay, shout out to Danica Patrick. You know, even at her age right now, she could still get it. You know what I'm saying? I know I called her a 6, but you know, she could still get it. I mean, as far as like guys go, you don't have to be like bad to still get the D, honestly. So if she is trying to be a sugar mama, you know what I'm saying, hit me up. But anyways, let's break it down.
And the person leaving the other that wants to stay in the relationship doesn't want it to end. So you're in a bad bargaining position if you're a dude leaving a woman and she wants you to stay, and family law is almost completely on her side. Well, to be honest, family law is mostly completely on the side of the person that makes more money, that brought more to the table. If you have kids, it's also on the side of the person that gave birth to the kid. In most instances, because women are hypergamous by nature, they tend to marry across and up on the socioeconomic scale. So they tend to marry up to guys for the most part. Not all women do. So guys are in a position where they have to deal with that whole, okay, well, what do I deal with? You know, like, how do I deal with everything I brought to the table? How do I deal with my future income? You know, the notion that someone that you married for a few years has rights to a decade or decades or even a lifetime of your future income is absolutely absurd to me, given that men and women are equal under the, you know, the guise of, you know, feminism today.
Let's talk about that hypergamy.
All right, here we go.
I basically sit here in my life and go, fucked. Like, what do I do? Right? if a woman dates lateral and up and a man dates, or sorry, a woman dates lateral and up and a man dates sort of lateral and down when it comes to.
And the good thing about Danica Patrick, she was a good sport. She was open to hearing this stuff, but there are some things that both of them said that I disagree with, that I want to kind of hone in on. And yes, I'm going to be passionate. Yes, I'm going to be loud. Yes, I'm going to curse. Yes, I'm going to talk shit. Yes, I'm going to make jokes. But these are not personal shots at any of these content creators. I just like talking shit. So I just want to preface that right here before people say, why are you so mad at Danica? Why are you so mad at Rich? I'm not mad at anybody. I just like talking shit. So let's get back into it.
To success and finances, status, and a woman is intelligent, that hurts her. Earning, intelligence, whatever. Like, what do I?
So here's the thing. A woman being intelligent doesn't hurt her. It's when she makes that her whole fucking personality. Like literally, when you, especially as a college graduate, when you are dealing with a lot of intelligent women, a lot of women who get straight A's, like they're smart on paper, they can follow directions, but you ask them a simple question like, what is a woman? They can't answer the fucking question. So these women are smart on paper, but they lack common sense and they lack the necessary skills and emotional capacity that it takes to navigate the real world. And by the real world, I mean when things aren't always going your way. Shout out to Slow Boy Whiteboard. He says, not educated, indoctrinated. And yes, they are indoctrinated. A lot of these quote unquote educated women are indoctrinated. So it's not that it hurts you that you're more educated. It's just that more educated women, for one, they understand the divorce laws a lot better. So they're more inclined to make that decision sorry, I had alarm going off, but they're more inclined to make the decision to divorce a man because, for one, they understand the laws thoroughly. Whereas if it was an uneducated woman, she may not even know that. I mean, any woman living in the West knows that if you divorce a man, you're taking a shit. Okay, that's common sense. But the idea is the less educated that a woman is, the less she would even fathom. Okay, she would even fathom, doing a man in for divorce. And the less educated a woman is, or let me not put it that way. More educated women tend to be less religious. Okay, so if a woman, has doctorates and masters and all this stuff, she's more likely to be an atheist than, a God-fearing woman. So that being said, or an agnostic, okay? But so that being said, there's no specific religion that's stopping her from divorcing her man because she's more educated. And in her mind, she's like, God doesn't even fucking exist. So, I mean, yeah, I made an oath to God and I made a vow to my husband, under God. But if I don't believe in God, then there's nothing binding me from a moral, ethical, there's nothing binding me to that, being moral and ethical. And the women who go to college, they're more liberal, they're more leftist. So they're already on some feminist, fuck men shit, but they still like getting dick. See, women will say, oh, fuck men, but then they still like getting fucked. So, it's like they talk out of their mouths, out of both sides of their mouths. And I guarantee Danica Patrick was probably doing a lot of that shit too, because she probably felt like she had a chip on her shoulder in the past, even though she chose to go in them GoDaddy joints. And then there's also photo shoots of her in the past where she's, posing like sexually provocative, just like on the thumbnail. So she used her beauty. And I'm going to tell you right now, if she was not 40, 50 years old, her ass will be on OnlyFans too. Facts. Because what she was doing back in the day was risque. So she used her beauty. Let's look at this shit. Oh shit. Well, I don't want to visit the sites because I don't know what's coming from them shits. But y'all see this. Oh, hold on. Let me full screen it. Y'all see this stuff, man. Let's see. I'll just open the image in a new tab. I mean, she did have a little tight ass. I ain't gonna cap. She had that little tight ass, man. But, you know, niggas like us, we need... Her shit look like it's imploding. Her shit look like it's finna combust. I mean, I don't even know how she's sitting on that damn tailbone, boy. She don't got no ass. I mean, it's tight up there. I just can't do nothing with it. I mean, like I said, I'll get the top. And she probably like the missionary type bitch, you know what I'm saying? You probably just want to hit it missionary, keep it moving, whatever. I'm not really interested in hitting it from the back. No cap. But, you know, she's in shape and she looked good. I'm not saying it don't look good. I'm just saying it's not something that's going to like really have me, oh shit, like Danica Patrick, damn, she a bad bitch. Like, nah, she's very basic. And then let's see. It would probably be, I don't know her personally, but she would probably have to come more on the personality side. But yeah, this is the type of stuff that she was doing when she was younger. So it's like, yeah, I mean, like she would be doing OnlyFans right now. And then, you know, she's trying to make it seem like she's conservative and and whatever. The only reason you're conservative now is because the attention has dried up. Underwear shoots. I mean, sports bra type stuff. I mean, that's fine. This isn't though. Especially if like you was cuffing this bitch. I mean, when I say bitch, I'm not calling her a bitch. I'm just saying bitch in general. So let me, preface that before. So now we can speak freely. Like, and now she's, doing, it says Danica Patrick reflects on her battle with breast implant illness. So she was she was a modern woman. Even in the past, breast implant illness, bitch. Why are you getting breast implants? Why are you getting breast implants? And now she's conservative. She was a manufactured bitch. And for all of you guys who don't know where that manufactured bitch comes from, that's me. I created it. And Melly Monaco, shout out to her, whatever. But she keep posting shit, ain't tagging a nigga, and I know she don't be tagging people like that. It is what it is. But a nigga wish he could get a little credit for that. That shit was hard, the manufactured bitch shit. But anyways, it's like, you the ghostwriter, but you want credit. Like not Donald Glover, but what's the dude who used to ghostwrite for Drake? The nigga who ain't got no legs now or something like that, or he got a leg amputated. Quentin Miller or something like that. Yeah. It says the former NASCAR driver went under the knife in 2014 because she thought it would pull my whole look together and make me feel more feminine and sexy. So tell me how breast implants are going to make you feel more feminine. Maybe your ass should get in the kitchen. Maybe you should put a damn apron on. Maybe you should breastfeed with your children. But like I said, she's a modern woman. So what children? She doesn't have any. She doesn't have any, and she froze her eggs. Now, I'm not trying to shit on her. I'm sure she's a nice lady. But damn, like, she's a fucking modern woman. And she still has that equality mindset and all that bullshit. Like, how is getting breast implants gonna make you feel more feminine? So men can suck on your titties? Because, yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, when you don't have titties, some men might want to lick on your nipples and shit like that. Me personally, if you don't have like, at least a C cup, I'm probably not gonna be like licking on your nipples, sucking on your titties. Honestly, for what? It's like I'm sucking on some. I'm biting a sternum. Goddamn! Like, there's no appeal in that. So she probably wanted that sexual attention. She wanted to get fucked more. She wanted to make men harder. because she probably realized while she was getting intimate with certain men that they were probably choosing girls with bigger breasts. And guess what? She felt that competition. So she got the breast implants because she was in competition with other women to attract the men that she wanted. And I guarantee a lot of those men that she wanted were in that NASCAR field. And yep, you betcha, she was probably sleeping around with some of the drivers. She was probably known to fuck a nigga with a fast car. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Okay. However, it wouldn't be until 2017 that the 40-year-old started experiencing changes in her body, including weight gain, hair loss, and fatigue, among others. I thought maybe my hormones were off, Patrick told this week's issue of People magazine about her persistent symptoms. Then a year later, one of her breasts turned rock hard. Oh my fucking God. And that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. See, men, we're very particular about looks. Now, a lot of men are fucking settling nowadays because they're incels and they have no choice but to choose an ugly bitch. Straight up. I mean, let's just keep it a buck. But attractive men, we're very particular about a woman's body. One flaw can turn us the fuck off. We might still fuck you, but that one thing will be like, she's straight, but she's not wifey material. And it might not even be your personality. You might be like really good personality, all this shit. But if you got one titty that look different than the other, one is rock hard and one soft as shit. Woo! Hell, you might as well cut both them hoes off and have a little bee sting. Just have nipples and areola, because that shit is a turnoff, bro. If I'm sucking on your titties and then I start crunching on them, now I went from sucking to crunching on titties. Her titties like some damn pop rocks, nigga. Like you sucking on it, and then that shit go pop, 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 pop. God damn. Y'all hoes are that desperate for fat titties? It's not even fat, though. It's just silicone or whatever they throwing in them bitches. You know what I'm saying? The other one soon to follow. Wow. So now she got two rock hard titties. Titties looking like Patrick's house from SpongeBob, nigga. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, man. Titties looking like Patrick's house, nigga. That shit crazy. And then she really opened up about this shit and told the media. Jesus Christ. For so many years, I didn't hug people tight because I didn't feel like pushing these little balloons into them, Patrick reflected. Whenever I was with a guy, I could not stop thinking that they knew they were fake. I went down a pretty deep rabbit hole. I told you she got it for male validation, male attention. She wanted to get fucked more. She wanted to get chose. See, this is what y'all don't understand about these women who go into male-dominated spaces. They don't do it for the love of the game. Fuck no, man. Fuck no. You think these hoes do it for the love of the game? No. Yes, does she like driving fast cars? Yeah, who the fuck does it? Who the fuck doesn't want to do that and get paid close to millions of dollars? I mean, I don't think she got paid millions from driving NASCAR, but maybe the endorsements. I don't know. I don't know her net worth, but like, who doesn't want to drive fast cars? Yeah, of course. She doesn't really love the game like that. Let's keep it above. When you love the game, you can't stop watching film. You can't stop watching other drivers. You can't stop figuring out different maneuvers or how they're passing people, how they're switching lanes, how they're getting top 10, you can't stop. You can't stop keeping up with the top guys. When you love this fucking game, any sport, you can't get it out of your mind, especially if you're involved in it. Now, it's different if you're a casual fan, but if you're in the game, you can't stop. They don't love the game. They're just there because they know those are where the men that I want are at. Now, I'm not saying that she doesn't like driving fast cars. Like I said, who the fuck doesn't? But she doesn't like it as much as she liked going and posing in, you know, damn near nude shit. She liked modeling way better than she ever liked driving cars. And that's a fact. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a binuck. Let's keep it all the way a binuck. She likes spreading her legs and taking off her clothes way more than she liked driving cars. I mean, are we going to act like this is some new revelation? Are we going to act like, you know, nobody knows what the fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? Let me show you the full screen. She liked this way more than she liked driving fast cars. Facts. I mean, it's irrefutable. All the damn photo. I typed in Danica Patrick sexy. Nigga, it's 30, 50. I mean, it's all different types of photo shoots. I see more photo shoots than I see her on the track. Honestly. She liked posing naked way better than she actually liked being in the game, being in the sport. Shout out to Matthew Sharp, my guy. He said she likes getting slutted out. Yeah. And what is most girls' favorite song right now? Especially Gen Z. Okay. Well, most Gen Z girls, slut me out, slut me out. Okay. I mean, that NLE Choppa is literally like number one on, I would say, any girl's playlist that's under the age or between the age of 18 and 25. Big facts. Okay. I went down a pretty deep rabbit hole, she admitted. I had every test that could be done. According to the outlet, it wasn't until early 2022 that the star saw several videos on social media about breast implant illness. BII. They got an acronym. These bitches trying to take acronyms like I do Malcolm. BII symptoms have been reported with all types of breast implants and could occur either immediately after surgery or years later. The FDA noted that some of the most common symptoms associated with BII include brain fog, joint pain, anxiety, and hair loss. Wow. So these women are trading, you know, temporary appearance, temporary vanity for a life full of pain. The FDA also identified a possible connection between breast implants and the development of breast implant-associated and anaplastic large cell lymphoma, a type of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, the outlet revealed. Patrick realized that her implants could be the blame for her ongoing health woes that wouldn't go away. In March of this year, she decided to have them removed. She said the results were instant. And let me tell you something, guys. This definitely affects your fertility too. Huh? Yeah, these breast implants, these BBLs, yeah, they definitely affect your fertility. I'm not a fucking doctor. I don't have no fucking studies. It's fucking common sense, you dumb assholes. It's common sense. This affects your fertility. It does. So we got niggas, you know, arguing online about getting vasectomies and whatnot. How about this? How about getting the BBLs? How about getting the breast implants? All these things affect your fertility. Why do you think she ain't had no kids yet? I mean, probably she hasn't met the man, right? Why do you think she froze her eggs? She can't have a natural birth anymore. It's over. It's done. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably a 6 right now, she explained. Woo! And I mean, at your age, you getting, I gave her a 6 in her prime. I gave her a 6 in her prime. Right now, she a 5. Because, you know, skin getting drier. She says she's struggling with hair loss. You know, pussy probably drier too. Let's keep it a buck. That's why she froze the eggs. You know what I'm saying? Pussy done frozen over. I mean, she probably a 5 right now. But I take better care of myself now than I ever have. Chasing perfection is a dead-end street. Learning how to come home to yourself is a beautiful thing. And that's why she's single. She now hopes her health journey will inspire others experiencing similar symptoms to do the same. Trust your intuition, said Patrick. Get them removed and see how you feel. This story didn't go anywhere because I didn't hear about this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, she didn't really spread the message, but you know, it is what it is. It seems like she's teaming up with an organization to stop women from getting all these cosmetic surgeries. So, you know, shout out to her.
What do I do?
I'll tell guys in honesty that you're in a better position to marry a woman that's on the same par as you, if not higher, right? Because that almost removes most of the risk of losing your nest egg and any.
And I hear what he's saying, but let's keep it a buck, Rich. We know that women want men who make 50% or more than them. Okay, and that's the fact. So if I make 100,000, or if she makes 100,000, she wants a man that makes 150,000. So, you know, that, dating somebody on the same level. Okay, yeah, you have some couples that do that, but most women don't want to do that. They want somebody who has more than them. That's the whole point why they want to get married. You don't see these like regular women trying to get married to Pookie and Ray Ray. Nah, they just cool with being FWBs and, you know, he my little boo thing, my little sneaky link, my little stink. Like they're cool with that with Pookie and Ray Ray. Why? Because they don't want to marry that nigga because he ain't got shit. But that NBA player, yeah, they want to have his baby and they want to marry that nigga.
Future income. My ex-wife's a lawyer. You know, she's very successful. So that really wasn't a huge issue as far as, you know, nest egg and division of assets. It was more dealing with, you know, the child custody issue because we've got a daughter. But for women that, you know, like you, like I assume that you've done well in life, you know, you've raced cars. I don't know, you know, what the total record is, although I am a huge car enthusiast, but I don't watch a lot of car racing. I don't, it's weird because I love driving supercars, but I don't like watching other people.
You could tell she I feel like, see, this is what happens when you're on social media and you watch a content creator, especially women, if they like the guy, they have a fondness to him. I'm pretty sure she's, you know, seemingly it appears that she's being very bubbly, she's attracted to Rich. Okay. She watched his channel. She liked what he was saying. She liked the way that he looks and she's attracted to him. All right. That's why she has this demeanor. And obviously, you know, I'm sure she's a nice lady and whatnot. Now, back in the day, was she a nice woman when she was, you know, doing all these modeling gigs and all this shit? Probably not. Like, from my understanding, she dated, didn't she date Aaron Rodgers? And like, you know, she was, oh yeah. So she dated Aaron Rodgers and I mean, I think she divorce raped him, didn't she? Or something like that. I don't know, but it's wild.
I drive supercars. I don't find it as interesting as drive them myself.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch that much racing, but now that I do more commentating and I'm
what did I tell you?
I do a little.
She don't watch that much racing. The only reason that they have her commentating, obviously, is because she's the GoDaddy girl. You know, and I mean, she don't have no real love for the game, bro. It's ridiculous.
A little bit for F1, NASCAR, and IndyCar. I obviously keep up with everything, but
yeah. I really find the job they did on the Netflix series, Drive to Survive, really good on the Formula One thing. But it's got to be difficult for you if you're a successful woman to find a guy and get into a long-term relationship because
I gotta stop, bro, right there, man. It's not difficult for any woman to find a guy and get into a relationship. Stop it. It's difficult for them to get the guy that they want. And this is what I can't stand because you know, I like Rich. I like him. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, bro, you can't give these hoes an inch. And I'm not calling Danica a hoe. Like I said, I'm just saying in general. But you can't get these hoes an inch, bro. Like, you can't say it's very difficult for a woman to, you know, a very successful woman to find a man. No, the fuck it's not. These hoes got dick thrown at them all the time, bro. It's not difficult for them to find a man. It's difficult for them to be attracted to said man, right? But out of the 100 guys that are throwing dick at her, the thousands of guys that are throwing dick at her, she's probably got one or two that she really finds attractive. It's not hard for her to pick one of those other guys because I guarantee some of those other guys are who? Malcolms, first tier, second tier, third tier Malcolms, massively attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men, mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men, even medium, ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men. She could be with one of those men. It's not hard for a successful, intelligent, talented woman to find any man. It's hard for her to find a man who has more success than her, will be monogamous, is attractive, taller, because we know that shit comes into play as well. I mean, the list goes on and on. Is emotionally available, emotionally intelligent, all the shit that they say that they want. It's difficult for them to find that guy in one person. Okay? Like Rich. Come on, big dog. You bigger than that. You better than that. I know he's distancing himself from the red vitamin. That's fine. I get it. But come on, big dog. You still can't walk away from the reality. It's not hard for her to find a man. Nigga, I know 10 dudes right now who will marry her. Not just based off, if I sent them this picture of her, watch. If I sent this picture right here, I'd be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I got this one bitch. She looking for a nigga. She said she'll pretty much take anything at this point. You know, she a millionaire. What you doing? She's like 10 years older than this picture, but what you doing? Nigga, he's shit. Where she at? Hell yeah. Marriage. For marriage, I could find 10 niggas today who will marry her. It's not hard, big dog. Respectfully.
Successful older guys is like men peak a little bit later on in life than women do, right? Like men reach their sexual market peak in their late 30s. And the thing that women don't like is they peak in their early 20s. And that's just an unfortunate reality of the sexes. And it's always been that way. Men have always been success objects to women, and women have always been beauty objects to men. So men tend to date younger women.
Going to peak, though? What does peak mean?
Even this picture that she used, Jesus Christ. And she edited this. Obviously, there's a lot of jump cuts and whatnot. And I don't know why, but my keyboard is a struggle keyboard. I mean, it's solar paneled. So I think the USB port is a little too far right now. So it's kind of tripping on me. So let me just, okay. This picture that she used when Rich was saying, you know, men are viewed as success objects, women are viewed as beauty objects. What type of fucking man is this that she has in the picture?
Date younger women.
Going to peak.
Dude, this nigga got 3 piercings. This dude is a homosexual, bruh. He doesn't even dress like that. In his real life, this nigga prays 5 times a day to Satan. This dude, guys do not get these types of piercings in their ear, bro. What the fuck is this picture? This stock ass picture to represent what Rich just said. I hope she didn't do this edit herself, because whoever the fuck she got on the editing squad is trash.
Peak, though? What does peak mean?
Well,
peak, though? What does peak mean? The top of your game. That's what peak means. Why, once we start talking all this shit, you just forget what words mean? What does peak mean? The top of your fucking game. Do you know what the peak of a mountain is? Do you know if you climb there's peaks and there's troughs, right? If you start at the bottom of a mountain and you climb all the way up, you're at the what? You're at the peak of the mountain. And then guess what you have to do you have to climb your ass all the way down if you want to go back home. Now, you can stay at the peak of the mountain if you want to in real life and die up there, right? Because of altitude and all that shit. You won't last long. Your breathing will shorten. You may shit at the peak of the mountain, it might even be frozen over. So you got a good 5 years at the peak of the mountain as a woman, and then your ass got to come back down the damn mountain and come back down to reality where the men are and where the men live the majority of their existence at. Because even if, men peak at 35. I mean, the average life expectancy of a black man at least is like, what is it? Fucking 56? It's not that much. So if I'm peaking at 35, I get a good 21 years to live my quote unquote best life. And then it's fucking done. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? How does she not understand what peak means?
And are
that's just a bad faith question.
valued based on their competency skills, what they can do. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She might be clarifying for the audience, but it genuinely seems that she was confused by what he meant by peak. And Rich is dancing around the answer and not speaking directly to her because obviously she's Danica Patrick. She's a GoDaddy girl. And, shout out to Rich. I'm not saying that he did this specifically, but, back in those days, she was like fat material. So he's trying to watch his words so he doesn't offend her because she's obviously in the mainstream media and whatnot. This is a political move, but, he was able to have the good discussion, which, salute him for that. But I just wish that men would be a little bit more blunt. Fuck, you don't know what peak means? Aren't you educated? Don't you have a college degree and you don't know what peak means? Okay, then. Don't ask me stupid questions. Don't ask me questions that you already know. Like that little dent that they can put in the universe sort of thing. Whereas men don't usually care about women's degrees. They don't usually show a lot of interest in their degrees on the wall, framed in mahogany with little letters after the name sort of thing. It's grand and it's noble and all that sort of stuff, but there's no guy that ever said, oh yeah, look at the degree on her, right? Guys will look at a woman and say, look at whatever on her, she's walking away sort of thing. That's how men operate. They're visual in the sense that they see women as beauty objects, and they've always been treated as beauty objects, even though society tries to change that today.
So peak then for women's appearance is early 20s.
Value, actually. It's
value.
Yeah, it's actually based on a lot of... I'm trying
to understand what the peak is, and if peak is fertility is peak, money is peak, beauty is what's the peak?
She's look, what's the peak? What's the peak? It's pretty much all those things. Beauty, fertility, because your beauty is connected to your fertility, ma'am. Your beauty is connected to your fertility. Your fertility is directly connected to your youth and your beauty. All of these things are biologically intertwined. Why is she acting like she don't know what the fuck we're talking about right now? Like, what do you mean? Value? Is the value the fertility, the beauty, the attractiveness? All those things are intertwined, Miss Patrick. All of those things are connected. Okay? Like, you can't get around it. You can't get around it. Your fertility is connected to your youth, which is connected to your beauty. You look better in your youth than you do in old age. An 87-year-old woman cannot compete with a 27-year-old woman.
Peak.
Well, that's the definition that they're trying to change today, right? Because women have valued men based on what they can bring to the table, right? Like what resources they have available to them to provide and preside over the family and the children and protect and all that sort of stuff. Women's value has historically always been around their beauty and their fertility. When they survey cross-culturally, across all continents, all religions, and they show a lineup of every man from 18 to like 75, I think the survey was done under, a lineup of women from all ages, all the way up to 75 from 20, they universally almost all pick about 22, 23-year-old women, as far as like beauty standards. So that's just the way that society has always operated. So
she hates that. Look at her eyes. She is scowling at that. She's scolding him. She's seething internally. She hates that when a woman says, bro, she is irate. Bro, you ever been in an argument with a bitch and then she just said, she don't believe your ass, nigga. I keep telling y'all guys, there's no such thing as a genuinely conservative woman, single woman in the United States. The only reason women are conservative is because they're with a conservative man. They're not going to be conservative and single. Facts.
As a beautiful, attractive woman, maybe, you know, such as yourself, that's also had a successful career, that's competent, influential on social media, does commentating, you know, let's say on racing events and stuff like that. There's not a lot of guys that are like, oh my God, she's, you know, her voice or her commentary on that program is so valuable to me.
Yeah.
What guys look at.
What guys are saying is, oh man, what that mouth do? I mean, she got a pretty mouth, no cap.
Is the beauty aspect of a woman, right? Like that's why women wear makeup, dye their hair, you know, wear push-up bras and accentuate, you know, their body curves and their lines with things like heels and stuff like that. As much as society wants to change that today and say things like you're beautiful at any weight, like that's one of the big lies that I think that feminism tells women is you're beautiful at any size. It's just not true, right? There are standards that men are drawn to when it comes to beauty, and obesity is not one of them.
It's not healthy either. Like
it's not healthy either. Like I wouldn't want to invite a woman that's obese and diabetic into my life. I don't want to deal with that. There's a Evo psychologist. His name's Dr. Warren Farrell.
Now I will say though, I have met thin women who are diabetic. I have met women who are like in shape, like with a fat ass, and like, you know, not even like one of those ghetto fat asses. I'm talking about like gym girl, fat ass, diabetic. I'm like, maybe she used to be fat and then she lost the weight, but she's still diabetic. But yeah, I've met some women like that who actually were not fat and were still diabetic. You know, sometimes it's just a genetic thing.
He's written several books. I think one of the ones that stood out was The Myth of Male Power, and he's done a few others like The Boy Crisis and things like that. And one of the observations that he made over his career, like, you know, decades of studying all this material, is basically that you can distill it down to that men are success objects and women are beauty objects. And that's how the sexes view each other.
Do you think that's right?
Doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. That's just how we've always viewed each other throughout history.
I don't know. I mean, I think
How about this? Yes, it is right. Now what? I mean, yeah, I liked his answer. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. It is. Okay? It is. Is it right or wrong that God wiped out Sodom and Gomorrah? No, it is, because he willed it to be. So, is it right that men are viewed as success objects and women are viewed as beauty objects? It is, because it is. Right? It's reality, and reality is right. Nature is right. Is it right that the wolf wants to eat the deer? Yes, it is right, and it's moral, and it's ethical, because nature is moral and ethical. Okay? Is it right that Hurricane Katrina wiped out half of Louisiana? Yes, it is right, because nature is right and just. So I mean, I don't know what she's trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? I really don't.
We don't grow and evolve without a discussion, without changes.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta stop her here. I'm sorry, I gotta stop it. We don't grow and evolve without a discussion. Yeah, men are the only ones who are having these discussions. Let's keep it a binuck. Let's keep it a buck. Men are the only ones who are having these discussions, bringing them to the forefront. Women are not having these discussions, and they're not having them in an intellectual capacity. They might be talking about the fuck boy who just, fucked them and then texted their friend the night after. Yeah, they might talk about that, but they're not having these discussions revolving around Evo psych. And the women who are having these discussions got it from a man. All these women with new podcasts popping up, you know what I'm saying? And they're talking about red vitamin philosophy. They got it from a man. They got the game from a man. And most of them didn't even get the game from men in their lives, because the men in their lives are blue pill beta simps. Most of them got it from men that they never met and that are online. See, me personally, I got the game from the men in my life. And then I just stumbled upon this knowledge and put the terms to what I already knew. These women, bro, they didn't know shit. They don't even know what they believe. And they're out here preaching this stuff and having these discussions. But these discussions were forefronted by men, and they've been taking place by men for decades. Damn near, I mean, should I even say centuries?
So it would imply that there's nothing wrong with anything and that there's no need to grow and evolve. And, you know, I think that there's still a discussion around that. Is that the right thing? Is that right? Because I think that, you know, when we expand on that and we go into like value, I think I saw something that.
Yes, it is right. Is it right that you want to date taller men, Danica? Because you're viewing that man as a success object.
You had written that said, like, if you took sex out of the relationship, 90% of women would have nothing to offer.
Yeah,
Facts.
and if you took money out of the relationship, then 90% of men would have nothing to offer.
Wrong, bruh. Stop trying to make it even. It's not fucking even. It's not even, bro. I hated when he said that. Yeah, like, you know, we fuck with Rich, but damn, bro. Stop capitulating to this bitch. Not calling her a bitch. I'm just saying bitch in general, again. But, bro. Dog. Let's run that back, because, like, it's like tit for tat. It's like every time you say something about a woman, you got to say something about a man. It's not the same. If you take sex out of a relationship, then most women would not provide anything. Well, that is right, because the mindset of the modern woman, they literally will come out and say, hell yeah, shit, I am the table. I bring me to the table. I don't have to bring anything to the table but some wet vagina and a mouth. You know, and maybe the back door on a good day, right? Which would be a bad day for me because I don't like anal. But his retort to her saying, you know, her repeating a quote that he said, you know, if you take sex out of a relationship, then most women wouldn't have anything to offer. That's actually true, because if you ask women, what do you bring to the table? They can't answer the fucking question. Okay, now. When he said, and if you take money out of the relationship, most men wouldn't have anything to offer. That's wrong. That's wrong. Because then what else do men have to offer? Protection, emotional support. Like a lot of women are saying, oh yeah, I'm the man's emotional support. Bruh, men, a good man, an accomplished man, he's already got his emotions in check, bruh. Like there's nothing that you're not going to come into the equation and make him more emotionally sound, bruh. Okay, you might help him deal with stress, but men are women's emotional anchors. It's not the other way around. And yeah, all the married men are gonna come out, well, my woman's my rock, and da 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 da. Okay, cool, we love it. Yeah, cool, do that. But if you really kept it real with yourself, you're most of the time in a relationship, you're talking her off of the ledge, not the other way around. You're telling her, babe, it's okay, calm down. It's not the end of the world. Boom, boom, bap. Like you're directing her emotions and saying, hey, you know, you might feel this way because you're on your period. Just take a chill pill. Let me sit you down. You know, let me, you know, sit your foot in some hot water or some shit. Like in any man who's been in a relationship, you know for a fact that you're being more of the emotional rock than the woman. I really don't know where they're getting this shit from. It's like a lot of these niggas, I'm not saying him, Rich specifically, but it's like when you say something like that, it's like, bro, have y'all ever fucked a bitch? Because when you're actually like with a girl, you're providing way, especially if you're a provider, man. But he said take money out of it, but you're still providing way more because you're providing that protection. You're also providing that emotional stability because they're not emotionally stable. So you're the one who's talking them off of the ledge most of the time, and you're providing that companionship to them. Because, you know, quite frankly, if she wasn't giving up that box, I'm probably not really trying to chill with you like that.
That's actually something that I came across in comedy, believe it or not. I get a lot of my material from comedy that I, summarize in my videos and my social media. So
So now he's got to reference the comedy, and I think he's referencing Chris Rock or something like that. So now he's it's just like all these disclaimers. I don't like these disclaimers.
men lost their status, their success, the wealth, their influence, their competency in society, then 90% of women probably wouldn't stay with them.
Whoa. Now you moving the goalpost, big dog. God damn it, Rich. You're moving the goalpost. Now it's competency, your status. We just talking about money. We ain't talking about all that other shit. We're just talking specifically money. If you take money from the man, does he provide less in the relationship? Yes, he provides less, but he still provides more than the woman if you took sex from her. You see how that works? So now he's saying, oh, well, if you take away competency, money, this, that, and the third, man, we only talking about money. So it's just like, to me, this is walking on eggshells. This ain't, letting your nuts hang. Like 6ix9ine said, he need to let his nuts hang, respectfully.
Those guys, like the reason why women generally leave relationships and marriages, and women leave marriages 80% of the time. It's not generally men that leave marriages. It's generally women that leave. And when women leave, it's because they feel like they can do better with another guy. Right. This guy that I'm married to, that I've had my 2.1 kids in the white picket fence and the station wagon, he just sits around and watches sports all day. He's put on 150 pounds. He can't keep a job down. He doesn't even know how to change a light bulb. I have to call my dad to come over and take care of stuff like that. These are the sorts of things that women don't want to deal with. Right. So when I speak to men, I'm constantly telling them, chase excellence, right? Like you can't let your guard down. You can't retire. You cannot stop pursuing passion. You cannot stop putting a dent in the universe, because if your wife, your woman, your girlfriend wakes up in the morning and she looks at you and thinks to herself, I'm stuck with a loser, there's a good chance she's probably going to leave, because marriage isn't forever anymore. The knot is untied all the time. We're not particularly good as a species at monogamy. So that's where that notion comes from. And on the flip side of the coin, I mean, if a woman is like 90% of guys would leave relationships if sex was removed from the equation. If his wife or his girlfriend all of a sudden announced and said, look, I'm just going to become celibate. I've gotten right.
Well, actually, I do have to, I mean, you would probably want to leave the relationship, but most men, I mean, a lot of men, I think 1/3 of men are in sexless marriages. So, I mean, will they really leave? No, I mean, they're still not leaving, even if they're in a sexless marriage. That's a fact. So, I mean, men are still willing to stay, but ideally that's not the situation you want to be in. So I get what he's saying.
With God, I don't want to have sex anymore. I'm going to become, the Virgin Mary, whatever. He's going to be like, huh, that's interesting, because the reason why I'm here is for access to easy, frequent, and, amazing sex. That's why guys get married.
That's it?
That's the main reason why guys get married. Believe it or not, they think that when they see, the biggest complaint that guys have when they get married, if you take a look at their Google search history, is they start looking up words like, why doesn't my wife want to bang me? Why doesn't my wife want to have sex with me? How do I get my wife to have sex with me? Could you imagine being married as a man and you're Google searching, how do I get my wife to have sex with me? There's a lot of marriages out there that are completely sexless, right? So when you remove sex from the equation, and the sad part of it is a lot of guys, they won't change that. They'll just resort to something like pornography. So they won't leave the relationship. They won't end the marriage. It's generally not to their advantage to do that, because they'll lose so much. So they'll just stay.
Lose what?
Could be wealth, could be future wealth, could be access to their kids. It depends. Could be all those things.
So you're saying there's nothing else that a woman offers if it isn't sex? They don't offer comfort. They don't offer safety. They don't offer companionship. They don't offer.
Okay, comfort. You can make an argument for comfort if the woman is not a modern feminist. Okay. Safety. No. Safety. Are you serious? What are you securing? What are you keeping safe? What are you keeping safe? Right? Women don't provide safety. The men are keeping you safe, ma'am. The men are keeping you safe. It's not. I don't see how a woman is going to provide a man with safety, right? Unless she's buying the condoms. That's the only way. That's the only way I could see.
They don't offer safety. They don't offer companionship. They don't offer.
So comfort and companionship. I mean, those two are something I can, get down with. But safety, no, ma'am.
Taking care of things. They don't offer planning nice things for someone. They don't offer cooking or cleaning.
No, modern women don't offer cooking or cleaning. They don't want to cook or clean. They're too tired after work to cook or clean. Facts.
Or
I didn't say that.
Like anything like that?
No, I didn't say that. But women don't offer safety to me. I offer safety to women. Yeah, but all the other stuff you're talking about, comfort, companionship, love, all that sort of stuff, of course. But the main reason why men get into relationships with women is for sex.
What areas of value is it that you believe a woman has to be more than sex?
Well, I have greater standards than just sex, right? Like I have a girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
She's got great culinary skills. She's fun to be around. We laugh, we joke, we have similar interests. Like I like cycling, so we go for bike rides a lot in the summertime. So it's beyond just sex, but the main reason why men mate select a woman is because of sexual intimacy. That's just the way. Like that's why we're here on the earth, to scatter seed, right? We're not here to build skyscrapers and roads and drive electric cars. We're here to scatter seeds. Like that's our biological imperative.
What do you think about the idea that the world is overpopulated? Do you believe in that, or do you believe it's not getting populated enough?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of the stuff you hear in mainstream media, there's just so much of it that I really question now, especially since the scamdemic and that, that game they pulled on us a few years ago. It seems pretty obvious to me.
All right, this is irrelevant.
When I'm on a page of the game, then also
they are getting married later. They're not needed for farming and across the board. Buying the number.
That testosterone levels that should be, doing your excavation. Here's that has Dr.
We're talking about testosterone levels. I really don't give a fuck about this shit.
Treatment facilities, this is IV, if on TRT testosterone, right?
All right, let's get
to some degree to give a room of authoritarian.
Hormones are changing men. Enjoy the decline. Single parent household. Okay. Maybe the enjoy the decline part has some good nuggets in it. Let's see.
These other crowds out there that are always offended by something. It's like that's predominant now, right? And I want to control my part of the universe, the people that I love, my family, the people that I've drawn the perimeter around, us versus them. So I'm more of a enjoy the decline kind of guy. It's like, they're going to do what they're going to do. I don't have any impact on that. Let them do it.
Yeah, I'm that type of guy too. But, a lot of people would classify the enjoy the decline type of guys as black pill. And we know Rich Cooper, he doesn't like MGTOW or black pill. But he's saying enjoy the decline as if it's all over. In my opinion, that is contradictory, just to hold him accountable for that. You can't be the enjoy the decline guy and then also shit on MGTOW and black pill, right? Because it's a direct contradiction to your own understanding and philosophy as to how to deal with the current dating market and sexual marketplace. He has like the fire and brimstone type mentality of, we're all going down in flames. We're going to be like the Joker and laugh at the demise. Well, that's what black pill are doing. They're saying, oh, there's no hope. So I'm just going to say, fuck it. And, sit back and, enjoy my time, watching porn and fucking eating Cheetos and playing video games.
Do what it is that they got. I've got impact on my inner circle and what I can control and what I believe. That's what I'll handle, sort of thing. So that's
enjoy the decline, meaning.
Well, it seems like with the direction that society's going and what they're doing to humanity, that it is on a decline. Like, let's be honest, like things like, we talked earlier about feminism, right? Like feminism was an equality movement. And I think it's gotten to that part. Like, would you agree as a woman?
That it is equal, or that
Well,
feminism is still alive, or
men
what?
and women can do anything, right? I mean, you want to drive a race car, you did it,
Right,
right?
right, right.
So
I
it's
do
not like,
believe, yeah, I do
I
believe
mean,
you can. I think probably again, I'm not a feminist, so but I mean, maybe the judgment of it exists, but there's pretty much nothing you can't do.
correct. So that's my point. Like feminism has gone past the point of equality. Like men and women can pretty much do anything they want. You know, we're different in different regards. We've got strengths
Yeah.
and weaknesses, but there's really nothing stopping anybody from doing something that they want. There's people that have this oppression mentality, like this victim
Yeah.
mindset. And the
Totally.
unfortunate part with that is if you have a victim mindset, you have to have an oppressor. And if you're a feminist, then your oppressor is automatically going to be men. So now you're hating men, sort of thing. So I think that the feminist movement has gone past equality and now turned into a supremacy movement where it's demanding the subjugation of men. In many cases, some people would argue white men. So it's not a great trajectory, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Which is why I'm more of the, let them do what they're going to do. The mainstream media has full control, with the exception of places like Twitter, I think, which has changed for the better with Elon Musk, taking it over and trying to balance it. But
Well, just nominated a woman to be CEO, and apparently, apparently she's a leftist. So part of the New World Order. So I don't think it's going to get better, big dog.
media outlets and most mainstream media parrot what liberalism wants it to parrot, what toxic feminism wants it to parrot. It's always looking for some victim. It's always looking for the subjugation and weakening of males. So it just seems to be more of a supremacy movement than a movement about equality anymore. And I don't know if you agree with that. Like, what do you think about that statement? I'm curious on your thoughts.
I think generally culture is living in very much a victim mentality, identity politics spiral of like, there's always something to glom onto to.
All right, I don't give a fuck about this type of shit, honestly. I mean, I do for my other channel, but we're talking about dating. So
Up to their level.
Well, what does it take to do that? What does it take in your life?
Effort and resources trying to bring somebody else down. And it's like, wouldn't it be a lot easier just bring yourself up to their level?
Well, what does it take to do that? What does it take in your life? I'm guessing obviously you're in that space. So what is it that tips them over? Because I think some of the problem is it's not that people don't want to get better. It's not that people don't want the pathway forward. They don't actually know they need it.
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because it's they don't need it. They don't know how to do it. Has it been like squeezed out of them? Like, is it something that's been engineered out of them through through their upbringing? One of the things that's changed culturally over the last couple of generations is we have more kids today raised in a single parent household than we ever have in the entirety of history. Most households in my dad's and grandparents' generation, obviously, were not single parent households. Most households today are single parent households, and they're mostly moms.
Sure. Well, they've probably progressively gotten smaller just in the community scope. To further back would be like grandparents and uncles and aunts and cousins. And like it's shrunk all the way down to one parent, essentially.
Yeah. And they're not doing a great job. I mean, the results are in most, like the vast majority, like when it comes to like high school year kids, the vast majority of gang activity, teenage pregnancies, runaways, terrible marks in school, incarceration, they're all from single parent households. And if you remove the father from the household, what do you think's going to happen, right? There's an interesting story that I heard one time about the almost extinction. I think it was a white rhinoceros in Africa. I might have butchered, the breed of rhino, but it was a rhino. And poachers were killing off male adult elephants for their ivory tusks. And what ended up happening was the young male elephants were charging these rhinos just out of fun, just out of shits and giggles, because there was no adult males to reel them in and keep control of them. So they found when they started to reintroduce adult males and they got rid of the poaching, the white rhinos stopped dying off because the young adult males stopped charging and killing them. So you need men and women in a good society. It's required. And the problem is that guys were considered the head of the household at one point, right? They were the leaders. They were the ones that were respected and looked upon. But today, men are mocked. I mean, I grew up on a steady diet of sitcom. You probably saw shows like, Home Improvement, Tim Taylor, The Cosby Show, stuff like that when you're growing up. And the fathers were really always portrayed to me as a bumbling idiots, right? And I think, that's just one of the small elements that have contributed to the change and the decline of the West, right?
Yeah.
I think this is a good time to talk about roles. It's something I'm curious in my own life about. I've asked many people that, but like, what is a man and a woman's role?
Oh my God. She still doesn't understand roles at the age 40. She dated Aaron Rodgers and thought that they were equals. Imagine her thinking she's equal to Aaron Rodgers. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
In a relationship?
That's a great question, because those roles, they try to overlap them now. One of the words that really grinds my gears is partner. I don't know about you, but whenever I hear somebody say, my partner, okay, is it your husband? Are you lesbian? Is she a woman? Like, why are we using the word partner? Like, why aren't we using husband, my boyfriend, my man, my woman, my wife, my babe, whatever it happens to be?
I mean, it'd be to share. It'd be that, for instance, say you're married, you have kids, or you're together, you have kids, whatever it is. And, the dad is like, I'm going to babysit. It's like, no, you're going to be a father. You're not going to babysit. Like they're
Right.
like, do you think that I always have to wash dishes?
I mean, look, here's the thing. Me personally, I don't mind doing chores. I don't mind cooking. I don't mind cleaning, because I don't like a lot of these modern women. I'm not saying, all the modern women, but they don't know how to clean. They don't know how to sweep and mop. They don't know how to wipe a countertop down and make sure that it ain't, no residue left. They don't know how to, after wiping the countertop down, slide their hand across it to see if there's still like crust or anything sticky on the countertop. Like they just, one wipe and then I'm gone. Like these modern women are not thorough in the kitchen. So, and I grew up in a large household where everybody did chores, and I'm really good at pretty much everything. Like I mean, I'll clean the fuck out of bathroom. I'll have the whole kitchen spotless. Like I used to work at Steak and Shake, so I used to close. I used to do a closing shift, and man, the way I had that kitchen, boy, wasn't none behind the stove. You know how shit can get cluttered up and build up behind the stove. Nothing. Okay. So I'm that type of cleaner. So I don't even like women cleaning for me, because these bitches can't clean the way that I clean.
Do you always have to take the garbage out? You don't. I can do that. You can wash dishes. Like it doesn't.
Then do it. Go take the garbage out and mow the lawn. And then I'll stay in the air conditioning. You know what I'm saying? See, this is women want their cake and eat it too. Like if I said, okay, your job is to, do the roofing, do the outdoor stuff, then they'd be like, well, I don't want to do that. I want to do the traditional stuff. And then if I say, okay, you do the traditional stuff and then I'll do the manly stuff, well, I can do it too. They want both ways, man, bro. Like women have a big brother syndrome. This is what I'll call it big brother syndrome. Like anything big bro is doing now, she want to copycat and do it too. Like, bro, sit your ass down. We are not the same.
I think partner is implying that we're in this together, and that we pick up the pieces when we need to. And it's not always going to be these roles for this person, these roles for that person. We're going to help each other. That's the point of being a partner.
Yeah, that's the
Ain't no fucking partnership. This is a benevolent dictatorship. Ain't no partnership. You do what the fuck I say, and we gonna be all right.
ego investment that you have in
Bitch, we gonna be all right.
that story. So let me sort of dive down that rabbit hole a little bit, because I think for the vast majority of history, a friend of mine calls them pink jobs and blue jobs, right? Like he does the blue jobs, wife does the pink jobs. He's cutting the grass, shoveling the snow, taking care of the car maintenance. You know, she's running the kids to the doctor's appointments, you know, preparing meals, stuff like that. So, and that's fine because, you know, men have strengths and women have strengths.
Agreed.
And there's a reason why the vast majority of men.
How about this? This will stop all this little, you know, the independent bullshit. All right. I'm done killing all the roaches. You kill all the roaches and all the spiders and see how quick the women say, okay, I'll cook and clean it. You know what I'm saying? I really don't see how women keep saying that, you know, partnership and equal, and y'all won't even kill a fucking cockroach. Now, yes, I agree that cockroaches are pretty gross, especially when you crush them. Honestly, I'd rather have the fucking roach. You know, I'll rather throw that bitch outside than to kill it, because it's just like when you crush it, it's crunchy and you can feel it under your shoe, and then it's like guts everywhere. And now you got to clean your shoe and the floor. And then sometimes it does leave a weird stench, you know? But y'all don't even want to kill cockroaches or spiders. So how the fuck do you think that you're going to go outside and mow the lawn?
Are in fields like roofing, oil rigs, you know, construction, engineering, all this sort of stuff. And women are more into nursing and childcare and teaching and stuff like that. And that's like one of the, you know, big complaints that feminism has about, you know, the world is, oh, women are paid 70 or 80 cents on a dollar for every dollar that a man makes, sort of thing. It's like, no, if you're working, you know, 14 days straight on an oil rig, you know, 12 hours a day, and you're working at a childcare center for 7 hours, just, you know, feeding some kids and, you know, herding some cats in the playground, he's probably going to make more money than you. So let's not go there. Right.
Yeah. She agrees now, but I guarantee when she was like, you know, in her youth and doing the, race car shit, I guarantee she was screaming at the top of her lungs, equal pay, equal pay. Like, bitch, I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't deserve to be paid more than a lot of those guys. And the thing is, she got paid better than most of the men in her field. And that was not because she was better than them at driving cars. It was because she's sexier than them. Okay? That's it. That's it. Okay? And she actually did an interview in 2017 where she explained why she gets paid more than a lot of men in her field. She didn't really, you know, say specifically, but it's because she showed her ass and tits. That's literally why. It's not because she's a faster driver or better than the men. It's because she's hot.
Right. So,
I mean, I got paid more than most men, so I don't subscribe to that argument.
Yeah, and there's certain fields where women do get paid more than most men. Like I know a guy that's
not usually race car driving.
Maybe you're right.
Well, not usually race car driving if the bitch is ugly, but I mean, if you put Mia Khalifa in a NASCAR right now, she's getting paid more than all of the men. If you put, I mean, shit, you don't even have to get Mia Khalifa because she washed up. Any bitch on Instagram, you go put her in a NASCAR, and she's getting paid more than all of the men who have won hundreds of races and have done miles and thousands of miles and hundreds of laps. She's getting paid more than all those men. Why? Because she's got a vagina. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that equal or the wage gap is just some bullshit.
I don't know much about what that is, but there are. But I mean, you also had GoDaddy sponsorships. You had a lot of other opportunities to increase your income too, right? But there are certain fields where women do make more money than men in the exact same field. Like I have a friend that spent a few years in the porn industry, and the amount of money that women make as porn actors is significantly more than what men do, right?
Yep.
So they want to watch because there's more people watching them. It's just
exactly.
demand.
There's more men watching them.
Yeah, there's more demand because that's what people are watching, not watching the dude.
I guess.
So as far as like the roles goes, you know, back to your original question, I mean, for you, it's different though, Danica, because like one of the things that I notice with you that other women do that you don't do is most women start sentences with, I feel like. And you'll notice this when you go back and you watch this video, but every time you start a sentence is I think. And rational thought comes from I think. So you're going to have a different perspective from make this and that sort of thing. The other thing, and pink jobs, right? Over the years, when I kind of dove down this girl, I think that a lot of where we're at today, where it's like, you just come right. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take the garbage out when it's garbage day. Don't sweat it.
What is it that leads to a strong partnership that a man and a woman should agree on as far as the roles in the relationship go?
I think it's a conversation that you should have before you get into a live-in type of relationship, right? It's like, look, for me, it's pretty clear. I'm a leader. I'm going to take on, the blue jobs, let's say, right? I don't need you, swapping out the snow tires for the summer tires. I don't need you, picking up heavy things. I'll pick up the heavy things. I got it, right? I'm built that way. But I need you to apply those amazing culinary skills that you have to make dinner for me, right? Because I like to eat, right? So for me, like when I was selecting a girlfriend, one of the things that I was looking at as far as criteria was I didn't want a boss girl. I wanted a woman that would enter my frame and be a complement to my life, not complicate it, sort of thing. And that's difficult for guys like me to find today because a lot of women are, the boss girl sort of crowd, and they're like, I need a man like a fish needs a bicycle, which is funny because usually as soon as something breaks or they need help with something that masculine, skills are applied to, then they're now, the little girl that needs help, sort of thing. So it's an interesting dynamic. And I think it's difficult for men to deal with. But I think at the same time, as you're a woman and you're navigating this, you've been told your entire life to be strong and independent, right? To be successful, to be, to get the degrees and chase excellence and all that sort of stuff. But that's not what men find attractive. That's not what most men seek in a woman. Although there is a contingent of men out there that are still of the belief that men and women are equal and that we should share exact responsibilities. And, Monday nights you take care of the kids, and Tuesday nights I'll take them to, swimming classes, sort of thing. And, Wednesday nights I'll do the cooking and cleaning, and Thursday nights you do the cooking, cleaning, and Friday nights date night, sort of thing. So those things are applied a lot to life. I'm not saying they're right or wrong. I'm just saying that for me, with the kind of guy that I am, I would be the leader. I'd be the alpha male. I would be the one that would, basically set the tone for the relationship, and she would enter it, benefit from it, but also be a compliment to it. Like when I go out for dinner, my girlfriend never pays. When I travel, like I just came back from Mexico, so when I travel, she doesn't pay, right? Like the flight's taken care of, the hotel. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of guy that I am, and that's the kind of girl that I want. And as you can call it as a consequence of that,
rambling.
But as an of me, if I need her to pick something up, when she's
different.
Yeah.
And then it's about
I'm still going to be the one that's called upon to defend you in a relationship. When the bad guy breaks in the house in the middle of the night and the window smashes on the floor and you hear a bang, I'm not going to elbow you and say, okay, well, you get this one because I got the last one. I'm the one that's going to jump out of bed and put myself in harm's way. So I don't think that they're fair inherently in the way that you're describing, like, men and women are equal and fair and all that sort of stuff. It's like, no, we're different, and that's okay. I don't know that I want to apply equality or fairness to a relationship because it doesn't make sense to me. I wouldn't expect a woman to stand close to the road. I wouldn't expect a woman to jump in front of somebody that was trying to rob us. Right.
But I know, but I think you're thinking that fair, meaning like it's tit for tat. It's all
you're saying equal is, it's like the whole equality thing. Like, I don't think that we're equal. I think that we're different, and that's okay.
But equal in importance.
Yes, absolutely.
Or do you think that men get a little bit ahead because they're the ones that ultimately will be the one that?
I mean, in the relationship, equal importance as far as like contribution to the child. I mean, cool. But let's keep it a buck. Men shoulder the majority of the burden in relationships. Come on.
Has to risk their life, let's say.
No, men are the disposable sex. Women are the protected sex. That's why when the ship goes down, it's always women and children first. I mean, it's always been that way. Men have always been disposable throughout society, and women have always been protected. If there was wars, and by the way, we live in one of the most peaceful times, in human history. But if there's a war and two warring tribes, get together, who gets killed off? All the men. And when the dominating side wins, any children or teens that weren't either brought into their armies or brought into slavery were killed off, that were male. But who was protected? The women. And that's where the notion of war brides comes from, because I mean, like, even as far back as World War II, war brides were still very, very common. When the Germans invaded France and Normandy and Holland, and like all the Dutch people sort of thing, all of the women that complied and entered the frame of the German soldiers were mistreated at the end of the war. They were brought out into town squares and their heads were shaved, and they were shamed for sleeping with the German soldiers and abandoning their families and their husbands and things like that. So women have always been protected and brought into the winner's sort of circle. And that's why women are very adaptive in society. That's why, see, women don't understand this, but men have a very hard time with breakups, right? We don't get it. It's like, we just want to get an answer, and if you get an answer, then you're deemed a stalker. But if a woman, gets dumped, then she wants endless meetings. There's emails, there's text messages. She needs closure, all this sort of thing. Like, women are generally a lot more adaptive, and they can move on very quicker from relationship to relationship. And I think that's because of the war bride dynamic, where throughout history they've been conditioned to adapt to new circumstances.
She don't like that. She doesn't understand the concept of monkey branching. Listen up.
If they didn't, they would die.
I don't agree with that.
It's true, though.
I think it's because women face their feelings and emotions because they can't help it. It's part of our nature. And that men traditionally in a breakup usually go out and start dating someone right away.
That's not true, bruh. Women do that. Dude, it's way harder for a man to rebound from a relationship. That's just facts.
They start sleeping with other people, they distract themselves, and women go through the emotions and they mourn and they cry and they're miserable and then they
no, because women, if a man breaks up with them, yes, that might happen, but majority of women break up with men, and by the time they're willing to break up with the man, they're already done with his ass. So they're not spending that time crying and They already did that before they even broke up with the man. Like, they've already got their, if they were going to cry over that man, they already got those tears out.
They work through it, where a man's is sort of deferred or delayed or pushed down. And
that's not what
that never works either.
Yeah, that's not what I've seen. I mean,
yeah, she clearly doesn't understand the concept of monkey branching. Women never leave relationships until they have something else lined up. So women leave relationships and are immediately in with somebody else.
The amount of, like, I've done consults with thousands of guys now, many of them private, some of them even on my podcast channel, on my Monday night show. And the amount of men that have, like, there's this condition called one-itis. It's funny, they make up all these terms in the mano-swamp, and there's this condition called.
So here he dissing the manosphere.
One-itis, which is basically defined as an unhealthy attachment to one woman. And this happens when a guy gets dumped, betrayed, cheated on, and he's left in this broken state where he doesn't get it. I did the right thing. I took care of her. I took care of her kids. I, insert all the things that, were done, like all the reasoning behind it. And she's off already sleeping with a bunch of other guys. I don't see that dynamic, happening with women where they mourn as long as they say that they do.
Yeah.
And historically speaking, again, back to the war bride dynamic, think about it. Throughout history, when men were killed off, what were women's options? They didn't have the resources or the capacity to usually take care of themselves. So they would have to adapt to whatever was conquering them, whatever was dominating them. It's also one of the reasons why, back then, the nomadic hunter-gatherer sort of people that we were, women were generally shared. The Bob, Bill, and Patrick go out to hunt, the saber-toothed tiger, and only Bob comes back. Well, guess what? Bob's taking care of everybody else's family now too, and he's probably sleeping with the wives as well, right? That's just the way that things work, because men were always treated as disposable. You don't like that though. I can see that.
Yeah, I just don't agree. What about the perspective
What's not to agree with? You agree with history? What?
of vulnerability? Like there's such a movement in culture for men to get more vulnerable.
No,
I'm gonna guess you think that's some bullshit right there. So I'm curious what that means. And because we're talking about emotions, and so like I do disagree. I think that women process a relationship quicker and get out of that emotion earlier because they've dealt with it. They've gone into the depths where I don't think a man.
So which one is it? Do men get over relationships quicker, or do women get over? She just contradicted herself.
And does, and I think
Can't make this shit up.
I think this sort of plays into this area of vulnerability of a man. Who does a man talk to? I mean, look, like I talk to my girlfriends. Like I have therapists, but I also have girlfriends, which play like therapists almost. And it just takes talking things through. And I don't know how a man operates in those spaces. And so, what are your thoughts on the area of vulnerability and men?
Yeah, men have been told to be more vulnerable, haven't they? How does it sit with you and your girlfriends though when a guy, turns into a total pussy?
I think there's definitely a fine line. There's a fine line between a pussy and a man that owns his feelings. There's the layer deeper, right? There's the actual true feeling of how you are. Like to me,
it doesn't matter what you're feeling. If that feeling causes you to cry, it's over. Now, there is a strategic way to cry in front of your girl and it be more attractive to her. But it's got to be, for one, it's got to be crying about something real and something that's like somebody actually died, okay?
An alpha man is someone who just knows that they're strong, knows what they that has their strong beliefs and believes in what they're capable of, and they don't have to go spreading the words all around. They just know it. So there's like an inner energy. And so I think that it's at that layer deeper where a man can be honest and share and connect and tell you the truth about something that he might be feeling and completely own that with confidence. And then there's some that don't, and it's the truth of the energy versus what the words are. Sometimes I think that are the real energy is the real truth. That's why some people have charisma and some people are draw people in. It's like an energy. It's not, you can have two people saying the same things and one of them actually believes it and the other one doesn't, and those are two different realities.
Yeah, I think what you just defined is that women like men that just get it. You don't want to tell guys how to solve that problem. You don't want to solve the problems like women aren't generally kingmakers. They want to be with a king. You know what I mean? Like they want to be with a guy that's got it figured out. So when it comes to that feeling emotions or being vulnerable, your dog dies, be emotional. You lose your parents, fine, be emotional.
I don't know, bro. I think a woman she won't tolerate you crying if your dog dies. I genuinely don't think that most women would like that.
It's required. You have to grieve through that part. Brenda from accounting was mean to you today. You don't want to hear about it.
I mean, personally, for my friends, if Brenda at accounting was mean to one of my girlfriends, I'd be like, fucking get over it.
But most women would want.
That's cap. Man, she just not being like real anymore at this point. Shout out to Matthew Sharp. He says, I've seen women turn away from men even when a loved one has passed. When he cried. Yeah, I've seen it too. So, I mean, that was pretty much it. There's nothing really more to kind of break down. Very interesting discussion. Definitely want to do some more of these more often, but y'all see YouTube's fucking with my numbers. Nigga, 9 views are, come on. 6 viewers on Reclaim Your Throne, 1 on Quarantino to God, 1 on Quarantino to God Twitch, and then 1 on Reclaim Your Twitch. I mean, bruh, what the fuck is going on? And then like I'll get like damn near 1,000 views, 500 views a video. Nobody on the live. This shit's crazy. But anyways, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, and share, subscribe. Send your relationship request to the email down below with a screenshot of your CashApp so I know you pay no tax, man. Y'all already be on your motherfucking day with the BS. And you already know. Reclaim Your Throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.